Hey, what's up, book lovers? My name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday is a Goodreads group created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey and is now run by Samantha from Thoughts on Tomes. I'll leave both of their channels and the Goodreads group linked down below so you can check that out. Today's topic is gateway books into your favorite genre. So basically, what book do you think people should start reading to get into your favorite genre? If you have more than one favorite genre, you could split this list up. So that's what I'm doing. My favorite genres are contemporary and fantasy, mostly in the YA spectrum. I have 2 contemporary and 3 fantasy books to talk about. So I'm going to get started with the contemporary books, and the first contemporary that I want to mention is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. Now, I love contemporaries with a really good family dynamic and that also discuss important issues besides just the main characters getting together. And I think My Life Next Door is such an important book because it really does take you by surprise, in my opinion, and it deals with a lot of things dealing with family and other issues that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to spoil the book for you. I definitely went into this book not expecting that much from it, but my god, it really surprised me and it was really good, and I really do highly recommend it for anybody who wants to get into contemporary. It is the first book that I think about when people say contemporary and what are some good contemporary books you've read. My Life Next Door is one of the first ones to pop into my head, and it follows our main character named Samantha, who has a politician mother, and she lives next door to this big family that her mother just doesn't like because they're really huge and there's so many kids, and her mom just is like, why do they have all these kids? And she starts to develop feelings for one of the boys in the family named Jace, and it's kind of like their story, and it's a really beautiful story that I think everyone should give it a try. And the second contemporary book that I want to mention is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Eleanor and Park is such a great book. It was a really great experience for me, and it also dealt with important issues and it dealt with family, and those are the types of contemporaries that I think everybody should read. I think that contemporaries can offer a lot to readers and to just develop your perspective and point of view. I think it's a very useful genre for that, and I love it when it's utilized like that. Eleanor and Park is really hard-hitting and raw, and it's about these 2 misfits, Eleanor and Park, basically, in their story, and it's really one of the most impactful books in my life, and I will never forget my reading experience. It's just such a beautiful book, and if you are looking to get into contemporary, I definitely suggest picking up Eleanor and Park or My Life Next Door. You definitely won't regret it. Now getting on to the fantasy books. The first fantasy book that I want to mention is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. This is a trilogy, and the whole trilogy is out now, so you do not have to wait for a sequel or anything. You can run through the whole thing. I haven't read the last 2 books because I've only just recently read the first book, and the third one just came out September 20th. This is a fantasy that centers around the seasons. So we have kingdoms that are based on seasons, like Winter Kingdom, the Spring Kingdom, the Autumn Kingdom, and the Summer Kingdom. The magic system in there is very different from what I've read in a lot of fantasy books. Basically, each monarch of each kingdom is the only one that can really harvest the magic, and the magic isn't something that they can do on their own. It's through an object or some sort of tangible thing that they can use the magic through. Sometimes the magic is only through the female line of the family, and sometimes it runs only through the male line of the family. So we have our main character, Mayra, who's from the Winter Kingdom, and the Winter Kingdom has been taken over by the Spring Kingdom, and we only have 25 survivors left of the Winter Kingdom at the beginning of this book, and they're basically just trying to survive and get their magic back. But even if they get their magic back, they're kind of stuck because their locket can only be used through the female line, and the monarch is a male. So they're kind of stuck on how to figure out how to get back their kingdom and fight for their land back. And I thought this book was really unique. It was very enjoyable. I do have a book talk up for it. If you are interested in checking that out, I'll leave that link down below, but it is a great book. I loved it, and if you're looking to get into fantasy, I definitely recommend maybe picking up Snow Like Ashes. The last 2 that I have are very popular, so if you've read them, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like I can't have a list about what books you should read if you want to get into fantasy without mentioning these 2, so I have to mention them, and I'm sorry if this isn't really offering much to you, but I really think that if you have not read these 2 books and you're looking to get into fantasy, you should definitely start. These are your starting points. The first thing that I want to mention is the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. This is a urban fantasy, but also I feel like it kind of falls in the paranormal scale as well. So I think you could technically classify them into one of those. Now, you may have read The Immortal Instruments, or you may have not read anything by Cassandra Clare and you don't really know where to start, I suggest starting with The Infernal Devices. The first book that I read by Cassandra Clare was Clockwork Angel, and I think that is the best place to start. I personally love The Infernal Devices a lot more than I ever loved The Mortal Instruments. I felt more connected to the Infernal Devices characters more than I ever felt connected to the Mortal Instruments characters, so definitely give The Infernal Devices a shot. If you have not heard about it or if you've not read it, just do it. Just pick that book up. You won't regret it. It is so good. If you tried to read The Mortal Instruments and you didn't like it, forget about that series. Because a lot of people don't like that series, and then they give The Infernal Devices a shot and they like it a lot more. So definitely give The Infernal Devices a shot. You don't have to have read The Immortal Instruments to read The Infernal Devices, so I think you should definitely pick up The Infernal Devices and give that one a shot if you're looking to get into fantasy. And now the last book is something that I have to mention because I can't believe that people still haven't read this series, and I think you guys know what it is because my life revolves around this series. And I mention this because if it wasn't for this series, I wouldn't be the reader that I am today. I wouldn't be a fantasy reader. I'd probably just be a realistic fiction contemporary girl. I don't know, maybe I never would have picked up a fantasy book if I hadn't read this, and it really opened my eyes up to the world out there of possibilities of reading and the stories that I could read and the stories that are being told in books. Like, it just blew my mind. And that is, of course, the Harry Potter series. I literally can't even stress enough, if you haven't read the Harry Potter series, forget every other book that I mentioned in this video and go pick this series up. It's so good and it's amazing and it's timeless, and there's no age for you to read Harry Potter. Like, you can read Harry Potter at whatever age. It doesn't matter because it's just that good of a story. So read Harry Potter. If you have not read any fantasy books and you're looking to get into fantasy, this is the perfect place to start. Literally the perfect place to start. So those are the 5 getaway books into my favorite genres, contemporary and fantasy. Let me know if you've loved any of these books as much as I did. And what are some of your favorite genres? If your favorite genre is sci-fi, definitely let me know what is a gateway book into that genre, because I'm definitely interested in that. Also, if your favorite genre is mystery or thriller, because I really haven't read that many mystery thriller books, and I think that I should definitely kind of get into that genre as well. And same for steampunk. I've noticed recently that most of what I read is paranormal, fantasy, and contemporary, and I kind of want to broaden that spectrum because I kind of feel a little limited in what I've been reading. So definitely let me know some of your gateway books into your favorite genres. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!